Hi, my name's Arif. I'm with the Progressive Technology Project, and I'm going to walk you through a simple and easy way to map a list of names and addresses and overlay that map with the Census Hard to Count maps so you can plan your outreach strategy for your census engagement. Here's what you'll need. First, you're going to need a list of names and addresses that you want to plot against the Census Hard to Count areas. Minimally, you'll need to have an address and a geocode for that address. What's a geocode? A geocode is the latitude and longitude of an address. If you're using PTP's new power-based database, you'll be happy to know that it automatically adds geocodes to addresses in your database. If you're not using Powerbase, take a look at geocode.us or batchgeocode.com. So let's go ahead and get our list with geocodes. If you're using Powerbase, you're going to go over to Find Contacts, and I'm just going to select members in zip code 44502. We're going to pull up that list. I'm going to select my list. We've got 781 records, and I'm going to export those contacts. And I'm going to use the export field mapping that I created to export names, first name, last name, and the geocode. So we've got first name, last name, geocode 1, geocode 2, that's latitude and longitude. Go ahead and click export on that, and I'm going to save my file. So you'll notice that when it comes out, it saves it as a CSV file, which is exactly what we want, because once you've got your list of names, addresses, and geocodes, you're going to need to turn that into a CSV file. CSV stands for comma-separated values, and it's a format that you can save as in Excel to turn your spreadsheet into a CSV file. Again, as I just showed you, if you're using Powerbase, it's really straightforward to export your list in CSV format. So take your list, save it as a CSV, and then using the CSV to KML converter that's at tchartdev.com/CSV to KML.htm, you're going to convert your CSV file into a KML file. A KML file is a file format that you can load in Google Earth. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up the CSV to KML file, or application rather. And what it's going to ask you for is a CSV file. So we'll take our export, and then it's going to want to know which of these fields are latitude and which field is longitude. So the latitude is geocode 1, longitude is geocode 2, name I'm going to use first name, and then go ahead and hit convert. It converts it to a KML file, and if we go back to the folder, you'll see that you now have a KML file with the name of the CSV file that we created. Next, what you're going to want to do is download the Census Hard to Count map from fairvote.org. It's fairvote2020.org, and that's the file that I've got right here. So now you've got two map files, your data set and the Hard to Count census tracts file. And now what you need to do is start up Google Earth and go to File, select Open, and select one of your map files. And then go ahead and open the Hard to Count map file as well. It's a big file, so it's going to take a minute to open. And once it's open, what you'll see is we've got our contacts, and we've got the Census Hard to Count tracts. The file that I used included members from Ohio. And so if we scroll over to Ohio and zoom in, you'll start to see these little push pin points that show you where those 781 members are. And then what you want to do is you want to find the state that you're in, that you're looking at the Hard to Count tracts for. So we're going to check off Ohio. And what you see here is the overlap between the list that you selected and how it lines up with these Hard to Count tracts that are marked off in red. If you have access to a voter file, you can expand the set of addresses that you're mapping, and using Google Earth you can plot your members versus the hard-to-count tracts, voters versus the hard-to-count tracts, or both. It's just a question of having the list that you want to look at and overlay that with the hard-to-count tract map. And that's really all there is to it. We hope that this screencast has been helpful to you in planning your census outreach. Please share your thoughts and feedback on PTP's census site, which is at www.2010count.org. And don't hesitate to get in touch if we can be of help in sorting out your data and database needs.